our own criminal so-called government. Governments are releasing Social Security numbers on purpose. The comptroller didn't release those in Texas by accident. A Bank of America doesn't release millions by accident. They release them because it's a form of weaponized attack on America and other free societies. With these tax ID numbers, even though they don't match the Social Security numbers, now when you go in and the IRS won't even tell you when they've got you red flagged, your identity's been taken. They consider it you when the illegals or the crime syndicates both do it, sit there and take your identity and get all this money. You are going to have your bank account hit, and it's been going on for years now, but it's building. Your bank account is hit. The IRS takes your money saying you did fraudulent tax returns, and it's never resolved, and your life is destroyed. And the government likes it. I mean, this is power, folks. This is siege. Cutting our power off, letting the illegals and foreign governments jack up bills in our name. I mean, they are going to gut this country one way or the other. $22 billion to ship General Motors overseas. Carbon taxes to shut us down. I mean, we're under attack. The Federal Reserve wants this country destroyed. And they take the stimulus money and give it to offshore corporations to further bankrupt us. I mean, they know what they're doing. They're raiding non-union pension funds. That came out this week. I mean, wow. Bottom line, here's what's happening at the IRS. They're being ordered with retroactive fake laws to just rob 70+% of the money they're getting is just robbing retirees, taking everything they got, their houses, wedding rings, everything. It's just decimating their ranks, so they're mainly just hiring illegals and foreigners. They'll do anything they're told for whatever reason. That's who they're hiring. Kind of like CPS in England's a bunch of foreigners, don't even speak English, kidnapping the kids. And now they are told it doesn't matter if somebody stole that person's identity and did fraud in their name. Take their bank account. And they salute and take your account and ruin your life and feel bad about it. But it doesn't matter. You know, those that feel bad will get out, just like TSA. And those that enjoy it, the criminal conversion will happen. Until now, the TSA runs your background to make sure you're a criminal before they hire you. When they discover you're a criminal, you get the command job. Oh, you're a pedophile. You're a convicted pedophile. You'll be the commander. Oh, you are a convicted bank robber. Oh, you will be the commander. That's actually in the news. You are now the commander. You heard Dr. Pachenik yesterday had his class 3, that's narcotics, folks, sleeping pills stolen. I had a baby rattle stolen. $80-something Tiffany I bought in New York for my daughter when she was a few months old when I was in New York. Doesn't matter. Hey, I'm scum. I'm an American filth rag here to wipe the snout of criminals. And you know what? We put up with it, so we deserve it. Land of the pathetic cowards, home of the stupid slaves. So I know the IRS is listening in Austin, Texas. People are always like, you criticize the IRS, aren't you worried about getting arrested? No, most of them listen and know the truth. Most of them know it's criminal. They don't like it. Hey, that isn't enough to not like it. You got to come out. You've got to fight it. Listen, this is only going to get worse if we don't start speaking out, folks. Oh, see, it wasn't about wealth redistribution to help the poor, was it? You know what it's really about. It's about shipping that money to offshore banks, isn't it? Does it feel good taking old people's houses all day? Does it feel good taking people's bank accounts because somebody stole their identity and you know it and you gave the codes out so they could do it? Does it feel good? No, it doesn't feel good. But you know what? The New World Order knows what they're doing. They know you're all going to leave. And they're just going to hire crooks. And then the real fun's going to start, isn't it? Yeah, tyrants have got this all figured out, don't they? The public isn't going to figure it out till everything we've got's taken, until the globalists lead us into a giant world war like they always do. And if the globalists succeed, they'll then reduce our population and the rest of it. And it doesn't matter, though, because the American team beat the American team in volleyball last night. And she thanked the troops, like she always does. Miss May thanked the troops, which doesn't really help the troops. She should have said, it's wrong you're taking the death benefits of the troops. Of course, she doesn't know that. It's up to us to educate her. But if we did, would she No, instead it's, I support the troops, which means supports putting the troops in a meat grinder, which means do what you're told, support the troops. Just throw that out there. Let's go to Antoine in Florida. You're on the air worldwide.
Hey, Alex. Great to talk to you.
Hey, buddy.
I got a great story and two solutions. One story, it was about the CPS. I knew you always was telling the truth until I saw it from my own family.
The child pedophile services?
But this is way worse, what you're talking about. Okay, so my uncle, all right, on my dad's side. Now, I really don't talk to them that much because a lot of them are criminals.
I understand. Tell me what happened.
So he did tax fraud. He had two kids. He did used to use cocaine and his wife. So he took the kids as they normally do. So my aunt, she never did none of that. So she tried to take, custody. They kept fighting her. But guess who came in? It was Homeland Security.
And what happened?
They kept fighting her. They won't let her see her. The kids, she said she saw them one time. They looked kind of drugged up.
Yeah, Homeland Security is into everything now. And, I've got the report right here. You got to kill the ugly black babies. So if they can't kill them physically, they're going to try to kill their brains. How old are these victims now in the clutches of the Jerry Sandusky Homeland Force?
They're 3 and 4, and yes, they are black. I am African-American.
Yeah, well, they want to kill them, so they probably will. Well, I'm sorry to hear that the Homeland Security's got them. They're going to try to brain damage them and then dump them out on the street as zombies when they're 18. So Homeland Security, of course, you can't let a family member, the CPS fights to make sure children aren't given to families. But I'm sorry that you can't get the black leaders to help you. Their job is to make sure all the blacks are killed as quickly as possible as well. It tears my guts out when people like the last caller call up and talk about little children being taken by the CPS. Because even though society's degenerating and a lot of parents are bad, the Justice Department's own numbers, last time I checked, was that you were 5 to 7 times, depending on what state. The average is about 5 times to be abused by CPS than in any other environment. It is literally swimming with pedophiles. And that's on record. Children die 7 times more often. 2/3 of foster children nationwide are on more than 7 psychotropic drugs. This is all in the news. Medical doctors that have worked for the CPS have gone public because they say, yeah, we took a healthy 5-year-old. 2 years later, he was on 12 drugs, having seizures. They did brain surgery on him. He's dead. Yeah, that's a WOAI report. They even do medical experiments on them because the CPS gets more money the more sick your child is. And I have seen things myself with the CPS covering it back when I was just a local reporter 15, 16 years ago, that I had to stop physically going and covering it because I couldn't handle it. I mean, torturing me is hurting children. That is absolute torture. They're innocent. They're good. I saw a cop choking a woman to make them give up her blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby they can get up to $500,000 for. And I opened the door, and the cop was choking her, and I had to fight all my instincts, as I knew to defeat them. I had to stay out of prison. So my absolute hatred of their evil made me go out, but then I started crawling around on the ground outside, and I called into some talk radio shows. Couldn't even talk when I got on one of them. It was John Statmiller's show, broke down crime. People thought I was talking about my child, but it was my child. These are all our children. And I literally was crawling around on the ground because in my life, if I catch a man attacking a woman to kidnap a baby, I mean, I was just ready, ladies and gentlemen, to take that guy's head off with my bare arms. And it was the same type, smiling, leering type, that they have as specialists to take the kids, and he was smiling, enjoying, grabbing the mother by the neck to make her sign it. And I just happened to come in. They called, so they were pressuring. We got there. Mike Hansen was with me. He was behind me. He got some of it on tape. And they're like, get out of here, get out of here. And I saw it and became physically nauseous because because I had to ignore all of my basic programming as a healthy male to let them do that. And it was just, in fact, it makes me physically feel sick right now. I'm not kidding. I'm having flashbacks right now. And people are like, oh, what's the big deal? See, you've had your humanity taken, folks. Choking a woman to make them take their newborn baby for no reason because they're just a poor family. And all these people are like, oh, yeah, blacks deserve to be in prison. Look at them, all this. Black folks have been the test model of all this, and they fan out what they do to blacks to everybody else. I'm going to go to your calls. I want to play this Paul Watson report, then I'll go back to him. Margaret Sanger, I didn't just believe the quotes when I made Endgame. I sent off to the universities, to the Colgate Foundation and others, and Procter & Gamble subgroup, where Margaret Sanger's letters about we've got to exterminate these black weeds, but we've got to pose as liberals to do it, and how they were going to break up the family and make abortion sexy. And so all of you folks that don't like black people out there or are scared of black folks, most white people I know actually admire, black people and think it's neat and whatever because it's different, but they're also real scared of black people. And the media does that on purpose. And then the culture of death, the gangsterism, all of that's sold to black folks and then sold to everybody else is pure death. They want to abort them culturally if they can't abort them in the womb, or CPS them and get them on drugs, or get them in the juvenile justice system. And everything that's been tested on the blacks, government drug dealing in their neighborhoods, letting that be the red light district, that's exported to everybody else. And you can see that in society. In the 40s and 50s, the numbers vary, but black illegitimacy was 25% or so. Now it's over 90%. People spin it and say, oh, what's wrong with not having a parent at home? The point is you're 4 or 5 times more likely to end up in prison or on drugs. And they know this, and they make it fun, they make it sexy, and everybody just turns their daughters over in junior high and high school to get pregnant, and the most aggressive gangster type come after them, and then you just have abortions. I mean, it's just a hellish society, done by design to bring us down. And they kill 51% of blacks in this country before they're born. And whites, going back 50, 60 years ago, it was in single digits, single parent. Now it's over 50%. And with it, all of the stuff that comes with it. So this is what feminism was designed to do. And it hasn't empowered women. Look at where women are. Look at where the whole society is. We're destroyed. And I engaged in some satire there with the last caller, very dark satire, because it pains me that they've got the little kids and they're gonna basically kill their brains. I even kill them. They kill them quite often, and it's just like, yeah, kids died in foster care, no big deal. The head of Penn State's now gone to work for Homeland Security in something so secret they won't tell us. I mean, that's who runs this. People who like hurting kids. And so the caller was talking about Homeland Security getting involved. And yeah, they're involved in everything now. They're showing up at swap meets and garage sales and arresting people. People are like, but I'm just selling an old toy. They're like, well, this was recalled 10 years ago. We're $1 million fine. We're taking your house. I mean, it's just creeping federal scum everywhere who work for terrorists that ship guns into Mexico and ship narcotics in from Afghanistan. I mean, this is a mafia. These are criminals. These are trash. These are filth. These are murderers. These are the scum of the earth. They're here to overthrow us. They're here to eat out our substance. Swarms of bureaucrats sent out to eat out our substance. It's here. And I'm just willing to tell you like it is and risk my life because there's no future if we don't beat them. See, that's why I get so mad people say I'm a hero. And I want to make this point for the 1000th time. Folks, this is survival you're watching. This is fighting back.